COP21. Vincent Fean joins us, former Consul General in Jerusalem, de facto ambassador to the Occupied Palestinian Territories and trustee of the Britain Palestine Project. Thanks for coming on the programme again, Vincent. Can I come to what the Prime Minister talked about when he said what the reason he wants to do this is to effect change, a material difference on the ground? How would British recognition of a Palestinian state actually do that? Afternoon.
Right. First of all, it recognises the right of the Palestinians to self-determination alongside Israel. We're not talking about replacing Israel, although that's what Netanyahu fears, or says he fears. But it's about what happens to the people in Gaza and East Jerusalem and the West Bank, the areas that the International Court of Justice has said Israel must vacate because the occupation there from 1967 is unlawful under international law. But when you talk about what's going on the ground, I hear from what the Prime Minister says that there were two issues. One is delay until September in order to see what Israel does about access, about working for a long-term two-state solution and others. And the other was the sheer horror of what's going on in Gaza. Now, recognition will not change Gaza. It will not change the situation in Gaza. That has to be a decision by Israel to allow in the UN lorries in their thousands across 400 collection points rather than the 4 that the Gaza Humanitarian Fund is now running. That we can measure. On the long-term two-state solution, this Israeli government has set its face against that and claims sovereignty over both Gaza and the West Bank, i.e. all of what would be Palestine. Now, I don't expect Mr. Netanyahu to change policy on a coin. So I expect that in September, Britain will recognise Palestine alongside France. That means that the two UN Security Council members from Europe will have recognised Palestine together. I think that could bring Australia, Canada, Belgium, other European states along with us. And it does set us on a collision course with Israel, politically, not economically or any other way, but politically. And it seems to me to be quite a brave decision, but rather typically with some waiting and wriggle room for
yes.
development.
How can it be an inalienable right of the Palestinian people to have a state recognised, yet that inalienable right apparently be conditional?
Yes, I was a bit surprised by those conditions, to be honest. My charity, the Britain Palestine Project, has been arguing for 11 years now for unconditional recognition because it's a right, the right to self-determination of both peoples in the region. So I'm a bit surprised by that. I don't, frankly, expect Israel, although I could be surprised, to sign up to all of those conditions. As I said earlier, the two-state solution has been excluded by Israel. They haven't been at all clear, the Israelis, what they do want, instead, what their strategy is, other than crushing Hamas and displacing thousands of people in the West Bank.
Well, they want Hamas they want the hostages back, and they want Hamas to disarm and surrender. That's
entirely true. But then what is the question? The idea of a two-state solution is that you have Palestinians, including Gazans and West Bankers, in a neighbourly relationship with Israel. And in order to get there, you need two states. Or it depends which way you go, which way around you go. But the likelihood that Israel will agree to those conditions seems to me to be quite slim. Therefore, in September, we will recognise with France and others, and that, I think, could lead to an Arab-European initiative to advance that idea, the old idea, if you like, of two states that we've had as a policy as the UK government, Conservative and Labour, for 40 years now, but to give it new impetus with the fact that the current Israeli government is set against it.
And hasn't come round to those conditions.
Exactly. And Trump yesterday, in a way, declared that he would not object to what Starmer was thinking about. Clearly, they've talked it through before Starmer spoke.
Vincent, thank you for coming on. Vincent Fean, former Consul General in Jerusalem, trustee of the Britain Palestine Project.